Boker Tov, gentlemen, Shavua Tov. We are continuing with Melachot Shabbat, Melachot Bishul from Maseh Shabbat. Page Lamed, Seif Nun. We spoke about last time the Kli Sheni. We introduced the Gemara. The principle is Kli Sheni and no Mevashel. We spoke about mint tea leaves, meaning mint alenana, mint leaves. And we explained that a mint leaf you can put in a Kli Sheni. Why? Because the Tosfot explains the walls of the cup aren't heating up, but on the contrary, they're cooling down. And for that reason, you're allowed to put the mint leaf in the Kli Sheni, even if it's boiling hot, because the mint is considered kashe bishul. It's hard to be cooked, and it's no problem. Kli Sheni and no mevashel. Now, ptitim itriot u makaronim. What does this mean? Very good. Makaronim. That's your original name. Okay? Yesh shekatvu degam benetinat davar machal yavesh lekli sheni en baze mishum michse kembashel ulefikach mutar liten petitim itriot u makaronim letoch kli sheni. It's gonna be here in a few minutes. I'll take you down. Okay? We're talking about cooking on Shabbat. I can't cook in like if I have a boiling hot pot on the fire, it's called the Kli Rishon, the first heat source. I can't pour spices in it. I can't put stuff in it because it might work it's going to cook. But in a second cup, let's say I pour from an urn into a second cup, that cup, in theory, doesn't cook. We'll talk about the exceptions, but I can put not tea bag, mint in a cup. That was like a Kli Sheni that I pour from an urn into a cup and I put mint in that, and it's okay. There's no concern of cooking on Shabbat. We'll talk about tea bags. We'll get there. It's the next halacha. Okay, you came the best day. You came the best day. You came to learn something new. Okay. So they explain. So some say that putting different types of dried pastas, again, obviously not in a pot on the fire or on the plata. That's a Kli Rishon as a primary heat source that can cook from the Torah. But in a secondary, let's say I have an urn or I have a kettle and I pour water into a second cup. It's still boiling hot, but it's not directly on the fire. Because of that, it's called a Kli Sheni. Some say you can pour macaroni or you can pour pastas into that cup and have it, in essence, cook. It's not really cooking. It's already been cooked once, and you can consume it on Shabbat. You had a question? You're going to say something or no?
So why would someone put macaroni in hot water?
Hey, it's hard. You want to soften it.
I don't get these examples. I thought we could put like anything. Can you put anything raw in it?
So some say it looks like Melechet and Bishul. The Rama is strict.
So it's never Bishul.
The Rama says in Sif Daled that you can't soak. The Rama, the Ashkenazim say you can't soak something that's hardened in hot water on Shabbat if it's not Ra'u La'achila. So the Ashkenazim wouldn't do it. That's Ra'u La'achila. You can eat it raw. The Rama, for the Chidush by macaroni is that you can't eat it raw. It's hardened. It's dried. So the Rama is strict, but he brings, we can read the footnote if we care. Din zeh talui b'tirutzei Tosfot hanal. Teretz harishon yesh benetinas petitim itriot umakaronim mishum michze kembashel utirutza masheni ein baze mishum michze kembashel. Acharitz b'meira ve'yarit atul lekar tirutza sheni. It has to do with, does it appear to be cooking or not? In the pot, it looks like you're cooking. So even though if it was already cooked before, there's a problem of doing it again. It appears to be cooking, but in a second cup that's not on the fire, Kli Sheni, there's no problem of michze kembashel.
None of these are Bishul.
What?
None of these are a problem of Bishul, right?
Correct. This is
like
going to be
raw meat.
I mean, if it's raw, it's a problem. Oh, in a Kli Sheni? Yeah, you can't cook it. You can't cook in Kli Sheni.
I'm sure it gets an edible.
No, no way.
I don't know.
Meat, no way. No, it's already anyway. Pasta's already been cooked. That's why it's a different example.
Like raw chicken.
Not really. I mean,
It's chicken, you can't like beef and like
not. It has to be cooked a little bit. Not what does technically mean. I don't care about getting sick. I care about how do you eat the food. The bare minimum is has to be cooked. Okay, so now the next category, we'll wrap up with this for today, is in Hebrew it's called Kale Bishul. Okay, Kale Bishul means something that's easily cooked. What does that mean? That's the example of a tea. Okay? Now, we're not saying tea it's not allowed to have. There's a specific way how to make tea on Shabbat. Halacha says, Beikar adin en kli sheni mevashel shum davar. From the letter of the law, if I open the Gemara and read the Gemara as is, a kli sheni, a secondary utensil. Again, something that wasn't on the fire, but was poured into from on the fire. A kli sheni, a second cup, cannot cook anything. Af lo devarim hakalim betiv'an la'itbashel. Even things that are easily cooked, are still not eligible or not capable of being cooked. Ulam, however, katvu poskim devra'ui lo latet bekli sheni, devarim shenir'a le'enayim shem kalim le'itbashel, gon betza ve'alete. However, the poskim, the rabbis say that it's very proper, it's very appropriate to avoid putting, even in a secondary utensil, like kli sheni, anything that appears to cook easily. Like what? Like an egg and like tea leaves. Okay, why? Because these things, even if it's not directly on in the primary heat source, we see very often that in the cup from the urn, it's still boiling hot, and the egg can harden a little, or the tea leaves or the tea can cook a little. For that reason, we are yeah.
If you, let's say you pour into the kli sheni, then right away into the kli shlishi, basically the same thing.
No, it's not. It gets much colder. Can you burn your finger in the kli shlishi?
Probably.
No, I don't think so.
You do it right away?
Right away, maybe. But it's going to cool down before it can cook anything. Cooking isn't...
Like the way everyone does it, you do it right away. It's not like
It doesn't matter. Cooking it doesn't get fully cooked now. It's a process. As you get to further and further removed from the fire, the colder the water is, and it's not going to cook as fast.
I know. What I'm trying to make is that
Yeah, you're saying that the Mishnah Berurah agrees with
kli sheni
you.
and kli shlishi.
No. The halacha, no. But the Mishnah Berurah agrees with you. The Ashkenazim don't make tea on Shabbat at all, the Mishnah Berurah at least, if it's hot. The Sephardim, we don't have that. For us, it's just obviously not on the fire in the urn. That's for sure not allowed. And even tea, we're sensitive that in the secondary not to do it either. So you're asking, how do I make tea? How do I make tea? Normally what we do is I have the urn. Okay, the urn is what we call a kli rishon, the primary heat source. Obviously, put the tea bag in the urn is not allowed. That's cooking, it's not allowed. Okay? Normally, I take from the urn into a cup. Okay? If I have my tea bag in the cup when I directly pour, according to some, that could still be a problem. Because pouring from the primary heat source is still so hot that it's going to cook, especially tea leaves that can be cooked very easily.
Oh, that's not a cliche.
Not yet, no.
If you pour it into the second.
Then if I pour it into the second and then dip my tea bag, from the letter of law, it's okay. You don't have to do tshuva, maybe, whatever. But it's not like, God forbid, doing one of the melachot. From the letter of the law, it's okay. But because tea is so easily cooked, we're so sensitive that we want to be extra mindful by Shabbat. So what do? The most appropriate thing, and we're going to see that in the next halakha, just to wrap up for today, the most appropriate way to make tea is you have an urn, I pour it into this cup. Can I use this? Okay?
It's a chumrah.
Of course it is. It's a chumrah, but we do it, okay? I have an urn poured into this, okay? This is a kli sheni, okay? I take from the kli sheni, can I pour? Actually, it's okay. I take from this, I have a tea bag in here, and I pour into this. That's how Rav Ovadia Yosef writes in Yechavedat, is the most appropriate way to make tea. There are many Ashkenazim who are strict, who are sensitive, who even that don't allow. Because they say the water is still so hot, it can burn your hand, you can't pour it on tea. But Rav Ovadia says that for us, the Gemara dictates. The Gemara says a kli sheni can't cook. We're being extra sensitive and we're doing it in a third cup. Good? So how do I make tea?
Why can't you just in this cup? Don't put the tea bag in before.
But then dip it in after? So very good question. Because it's still hot. Because it's still hot and tea can get cooked very, very easily, we're strict. Again, I'm emphasizing that it's a chumrah. It's a stringency that we all do, that we accept. If you notice in Kanisa, there's always a cup next to the urn that's clean. Always. Because anyone that makes tea, usually there's someone in Kanisa that knows, they pour into the cup that's clean into their cup. If you pay attention to 1:30 of the Shabbat, if it's Sharachim, all our Kanisas, not even like from the Kanisa, just individuals, they'll take one hot cup, use that, pour it into that, and then from that into their cup that they want to drink. So the most preferred way is from 2 into 3, the tea bag in 3. If someone, like Nadav suggested, just dips directly after it was poured into the second cup, it's still, you can still drink it, you can still have it. It's not asur, meaning the food is not kosher. It's not asur, but the more appropriate thing to do is like how the Rav Ovadia writes, and to be mindful that things that are kale bishul, that are easily cooked, we don't even put them in the kli sheni as well.
It would never be considered a kli sheni if the tea bag was in it. It's like irui kli rishon isn't kli sheni.
Irui kli rishon we're very strict on.
Everyone says,
not everyone, but irui kli rishon, the consensus is to be strict.
But not everyone, because the Rambam, they all hold.
They don't necessarily talk about irui.
No,
so
the question what the Rambam said, he says there's a Bishul for Bishul even with the Ba'alah.
Correct.
Right?
But what does that have to do with this? Tea bag has nothing to do with this. Tea bags are again. If we wanted to get into it, we'd have to first define the nature of tea bags. Are they roasted or are they not? Because tea bags have already probably been roasted, ein bishul achal tzliya. Once something's cooked, you can reheat it. So for that reason, you can even be lenient of putting it directly in a kli sheni. But this is the minhag, we don't deviate from the custom. The Jewish people, we don't pour directly in the second, we do it in the third.
My question was like, the Rambam, would he ever...
It doesn't apply to tea though.
Why?
Because where's the liquid in tea? I'm cooking the tea bag, not the water. I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about reheating liquids.
I'm saying anyway, some poskim hold there's no cooking after it was cooked in general. Or the tea bag is already cooked.
That's the machloket and the metzut, in the reality. Reality, we can ask ChatGPT, are tea bags cooked at all? I mean, if they were fully cooked, then they wouldn't give out any color when we put them in a tea. So they were probably roasted slightly. They're slightly roasted. That probably means that that you can cook them after. Ein bishul hartzliya. But we're strict. We're poshesh.
Is there a problem with reusing the kli sheni?
What? No. We spoke about that earlier. We spoke about the droplets in the cup are secret shedel nichale. Yeah, we don't care about it.
What if that's kind of weird? What if you put ice cube in the kli sheni?
It's a good question. And then pour hot water directly into it is a problem. But meaning,
I make it a colder cup.
Once it's already a kli sheni, and then I add ice to it, it's okay. I have an urn. I pour hot water into this. This is a kli sheni. I pour ice into this, it's okay. But I have ice in this, and then I pour hot water directly from the urn into this. That's a problem because you might be cooking the ice. Yeah.
Sugar is fine.
Sugar is okay. It's cooked.
And what did we say again about take from can you pour from an urn into like something already cooked? If you're cooking not from the urn. You take water that's like warm and cook it? No, you can't.
We read Maran. Yesh limchot be'ad ha'osim. You should protest because we're scared that the water is going to get cooked. We spoke about that. We'll revisit that again. Okay?
What's the halacha regards to like noodle soup?
We'll get there. I think we're going to talk about that the next days. But the noodle soup, the issue there is
that can be eaten raw.
the issue there is the spices. The issue there is the spices. The problem with noodle soup is the spices. The spices aren't cooked. So if you put the spices in, it can get cooked. But in theory, it falls into the category. Soup powder might be something else because you're cooking the soup powder. That might not be as lenient. But the instant soup is more lenient because it's already been cooked and flash frozen. Okay? Chazak u'baruch.